Smackdown review for July 12th episode of Smackdown. As always, I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. Let's cheers and talk about some wrestling, huh?
This episode of Smackdown, I feel like we probably have some differing thoughts on it. I know we texted a little bit back and forth during it.
We do.
It's been kind of overwhelming pops for most of wrestling since we started doing the podcast.
Let's get right into it. We're in Massachusetts for this episode of Smackdown, and there is an announcer standing in the ring with the pink lights all around, and I'm like, what are they doing? Well, they're introducing the winner of the Money in the Bank for the women, Miss Tiffy time, Tiffy Stratton. She comes out with the briefcase that I noted. Not bedazzled, not pink, not nothing. They're keeping it as is. No personalized briefcase, and I was like, drop. No, I'm joking. I was like, dang. I feel like they missed out on a marketing thing.
Maybe they still can, I guess.
You know damn well if Jay would have won that, there'd be a yeet on it. So, anyway, she came in and basically did the thing. She said, I climbed to the Tiffy top, and it is Tiffy time. I now have the Money in the Bank. Liv, Roxanne, Bailey, watch your back. I'm coming for you. And right when she says that, Bailey comes out because she heard her name. Right? That's just part of it. And she basically says, if you ever plan on using that on me, it's going to be you're going to make history by being the first woman to fail at cashing in the Money in the Bank. And they start to kind of look like things are going to get feisty in the ring. So Nia comes out and the crowd boos her. And Nia goes, that is a rude way to honor your queen for coming out to the ring. And Nia gets in the ring and is basically just making fun of Bailey. She calls her BBL Bailey. Mm-hmm. Went viral on the internet. Mm-hmm. So that's a thing that we have in 2024.
Yeah, and from what I saw, about half the people know what it means. I know what it means. I think you know what it means.
Yeah.
And the other half were like, well, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Hey, she's all natural.
So I think Nia reads the comments.
Yeah.
Nia is up to social media people. Yeah.
But Bailey said, Nia, this isn't Hugger Bailey. This isn't the Bailey you injured in 2019 or 2017 or whatever it was. This is WWE Champion Bailey. And yeah, she's going to do it. She says, but then she looks at Tiffy and she goes, you know what? Even if I slip on a banana and I do lose at SummerSlam, what are you going to do, Tiff? You going to cash in on your girl, Nia? And Nia immediately, before Tiffany could even say a thing, she just goes, no. Bailey, I trust Tiffy. Tiffy's just my own personal Barbie doll. I'm going to destroy you. You are my victim. And at the end of this, Bailey basically she stops taking the shit. She starts to attack. She starts to attack Tiffany. But then, Bailey didn't realize that she's in the ring against two people who oppose her. So, numbers game. Tiffy and Nia start whooping up on her. And then, Mishin with a kendo stick runs in the ring. Well, I don't even think she got a swing off. I think it was one of those moments where she just kind of is in the ring with a kendo stick and Nia and Tiffany kind of just back away.
She swung it at.
Did she?
Tiffany, yeah.
Did she hit her?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No.
I don't think she landed.
No.
But that was kind of it for this. We found out that a match is coming up next for Mishin and Nia, so they kind of just parted ways. But for this segment, I am actually going to give this a drop, which is probably surprising. Reason being, Lord, was Bailey stiff on the mic. I mean, it was not good. It was just not good. She was kind of just doing the whole, I'm your WWE champion and bow to me. And like, I love seeing Tiffy out there. She didn't get enough words out. I mean, the words that she got were good, but it felt like she had to stick to a script, one of one. And that didn't go well with me. I don't know. I'm not feeling this right now. Hopefully they can beef it up for me in the near future.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, man. I'm kind of in between because I agree with what you're saying. I definitely get that the mic work from really all three was pretty not good. You could tell there were some nerves, and you could tell they were sticking to the script, and it didn't feel very natural.
You could also tell that the Nia BBL line was like, she had that cooked up in her head, and it was like, oh, I'm going to drop that bar, and people are going to love it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it was like, okay, well, you tried. I did like the hinting for Tiffany to Nia, as we talked about for weeks at this time. And then the potential, I guess, like cash-in tease at the end.
Well, we'll get into the match. We're not in the match yet.
Was that after the match?
Yeah, that was after the match.
Oh, well, see, I don't even remember. Blurring it all in together, I guess. I guess I'll give the opening segment a pop, I guess. Just because they're trying, but there's a lot of other things I would have rather seen.
I just think all
open the
three.
show.
Yeah, I just think all three of them are capable of holding their own in the ring, and just kind of let them loose, man. Cut them loose. Let them say what they want to feel. Anyway, we get a very, very, very short segment in the back with Chelsea Green and Piper backstage. Chelsea Green has a bedazzled neck brace on because she took a big bump in the Money in the Bank briefcase match. And she's waiting for Nick Aldis because she says that the internet is making fun of her. And she would like to address that with Nick Aldis and get her name cleared, basically. But no one's seen Nick Aldis, so they're waiting in line. And that was literally all that was.
Yeah.
But then we get the Nia Jax and Michin match. And Tiffany's obviously still on the outside for Nia. Bayley's on the outside for Michin because she just saved her ass, basically. I thought this match was actually pretty good. So Michin was right away found out she's not big enough to take down Nia, so she was using a bunch of submission maneuvers. She was trying to jump on her back, choke her out, going for legs, a lot of kicks and stuff like that. Nia was utilizing her booty a little bit more than normal. That's her main weapon now, is that big old booty of Nia's. Yep, no other way to say this, ladies and gentlemen. No other way to say this. But obviously, it was one of those matches where Nia looked dominant. So in the middle of the match, she really dominated, just kind of throwing Michin around. Whenever Michin got any sort of comeback or momentum, Nia would quickly remove that momentum in some way, shape, or form. Michin would then get a full-on comeback with some drop kicks and another drop kick to the corner and then a rolling cannonball drop kick that would finally drop Nia. But then she would go to the top rope and Nia bounced right back up and was able to reverse that. Then we get some effery here. So Tiffy is officially trying to protect Nia and help her win. So Tiffy puts a kendo stick on the apron and then runs to the opposite side of the ring to distract the ref so that Nia can go get the kendo stick, and it works. Nia goes to get the kendo stick, but Bayley immediately beats up Tiffy. She's like, no, this is BS. And Michin is smart enough to realize you have a kendo stick. I'm not going to allow this. So she takes off and hits Nia and gets rid of the kendo stick right away. But overall, it wasn't enough because quickly after this, pop-up Samoan drop from Nia Jax to Michin, drags her to the corner, the Annihilator, 1, 2, 3. Nia wins, but then the effery after the match happens. Bayley comes in and attacks. Like, she just runs in and attacks, unprovoked, kind of. But numbers game again. Nia Jax and Tiffy basically go in on her. And they have her to the point where Nia does a few moves on her, Samoan drop, I think a corner move, and then she does her leg drop, and Bayley's destroyed in the ring. And I am literally screaming at my screen, Tiffy cash in. Right? I'm like, if there's any logic here, the champion's dead in the middle of the ring right now. Cash in. And the crowd you can start to hear it on TV. The crowd is chanting, cash in, cash in. But it takes a while. It looks like they're just going to pose and leave, and there's going to be no logic to it. But we do get, as you said earlier, the sneak peek at a cash in. Tiffy's like, you know what, I could do it right now. Goes over to the ref and starts to hand it the Money in the Bank briefcase over. And then Nia Jax is like, wait, no, what are you doing? You're not doing this. Leave. And so she leaves. I gave the opening segment a drop, but I'm going to pop this whole thing. I think it's smart to establish Tiffy as being a smart Money in the Bank briefcase holder, but she also has this big fear, which is Nia Jax. So that's a nice little seesaw of emotional battle for her. Good stuff.
Yeah. I guess I'm torn. In the match itself, I would say I would drop that because I wanted to see more from Nia, and I know Nia got a lot of offense in, but I kind of wanted to see like a squash, to be honest. I know Michin has been on TV a lot, and she's been in NXT a lot. She's been getting some random. She's great. Don't get me wrong, but I really just wanted to see them kind of reestablish that like monster side of Nia that they had for so long. I felt like it's still there a little bit. You got it here and there throughout the match, but I kind of just wanted to see kind of a more, I guess, dominating performance. As for the cash-in stuff, like you said, I agree 100%. I'm giving that a pop. That's super smart from them. Also, you can kind of see Nia still being like the heel there, and you kind of slowly start to kind of turn Tiffany to a face. At least that's how I took it.
Yep, they're gonna build it up, and whenever she cashes, it's popped.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
the
and
roof's
that's
gonna explode.
extremely smart because she's so over. Even if she is a heel,
Begs
people
the-
love her.
Yeah, begs the question though: is Tiffany gonna cash in on Nia at SummerSlam?
Wow, I don't know because originally I probably would have said yes, but with that segment, the way that it was, the way that it was handled, I kind of see Nia just continuing to like stiff armor and put her
Right.
to the side. Like, don't do that. No, we're not doing this.
That's what I think is going to happen every week until SmackDown. I think Bayley is going to get destroyed every single week until SummerSlam. I should have said SummerSlam. And every single week we're going to get a cash in. Should I? Cash in? No, from Nia. And then I think at SummerSlam, like something's going to happen. Nia's going to take a injury, and then win the match though. But it's going to be perfect timing for Tiff. Tiff turns on Nia, wins the championship, and then Tiff and her can feud for that belt afterward. I just think the long term, or the short term, long term story in terms of like SummerSlam's right here, but we can see a long term story with Nia and Tiffy fighting for the belt. That just seems like a good idea for him.
Yeah, and I think you could still probably, I guess for me at least, that would be a little too soon with how they put just that particular segment. If they are going to have her keep kind of bullying Tiffany, you kind of just have it continue to build up. And then while she has the title, she can really bully her. And then it can just, like I said, further build that up. And I mean, that's going to be great. I can't wait for
No matter what, it's all going to end in Tiffany winning, and it's going to be amazing. So.
Which is the right call.
Yep. We then get a very short Bloodline 2.0 promo video. It's one where they're all in the dark room with the red light and Solo's, twiddling his fingers together and talking. But he said that back in the day, Bloodline was the strongest faction in the company. They had all the titles until Roman decided to go solo. And when Roman went solo, everything went downhill for the Bloodline. And he's back to build a more powerful, more hungry, more aggressive family. And that everybody will acknowledge him. That was basically it. But, does the job, those little promos. So
I like those little pre-recorded ones that they do.
Yeah, really good stuff for him. We would then get an Andrade interview because people are calling him the MVP of the Money in the Bank because of his spots with Carmelo Hayes in the match. Can't argue that, I guess.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been my first pick, but like if you said he was the MVP, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Good for you.
Anyway, it's I think it's Byron Saxton interviewing him. Empty arena before the show, and Byron Saxton's like, what's next for you? And very quickly, Melo comes out, and he's like, if anybody should have been the MVP and should be getting interviewed and talked about, it should be Melo, because I was the MVP of that match. You screwed me out of it, Andrade. And Andrade just goes, to answer your question, Byron Saxton, of what's next, him. Andrade versus Melo?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're going to put on a show.
Yeah, exactly. Just give me some great matches.
Yeah. Next up, your boy.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin's in the ring.
Yeah.
With Apollo Crews. They're taking tag action against Angel Garza and Berto out of Legado del Fantasma. I always, their name.
Yeah. I think you nailed it.
Yeah. And while Legado and all of them, while they're doing their entrance, they show like a short video package as to how we got here. And right after that ends, Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin are like, you know what? We're just going to attack. And they do this thing where Baron Corbin grabs Apollo Crews, grabs him and like launches him over the top rope. But Apollo Crews is like the greatest athlete ever, so he really didn't need the help, but it looked cool. He takes them both out, and Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews start out hot. It's like they've been a tag team for years.
Yeah, it really is.
And we didn't have a lot of time before the commercial break, but so they had to do something big, right? Both the guy Angel Garza and Berto out of the ring again, and you see Baron Corbin looking around like, "Oh, I'm gonna do something here," and we're all like, "What are you gonna do?" And he takes off for the ropes, and Apollo Crews does actually like pick him up and launch him. I mean, just like throwing a big pile of garbage. Like Baron Corbin did nothing but just fall, and it was awesome. He just launched over the ropes and took out both of them. Baron Corbin doing suicide dives. You kidding me?
Yeah. Impressive. I didn't expect that. Didn't have it on my big.
It didn't look pretty, but it was pretty. It was awesome.
Effective. You know.
Yeah. During the commercial break, we did get a recap about how momentum changed. Baron Corbin would go for like a shoulder tackle / spear on the outside of the ring and miss, and Angel Garza threw him into the steel steps, which led to them, Angel and Berto getting some momentum back in the match.
Yeah. Which is always nice. I always complain on Raw. They don't do it on Raw. They don't say, hey, here's how the momentum changed. Here's what happened during the commercial break. They don't do that.
Yeah, we always say
SmackDown,
that.
though. Bam.
But
nice.
The beginning of the match was all about Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. The middle of the match was all about Berto and Angel. They all got offense off. They all looked good, especially Berto. Berto was doing a bunch of springboard kicks and flips and this and that, and it was great. So they were working over Corbin at this point. Need a hot tag. Baron Corbin would eventually get a Death Valley driver. Hot tag in Crews, while Angel Garza also got hot tagged in. Then the BS3 would kind of happen on the outside of the ring. Corbin would go to further beat up Berto, but who was it on the outside? Who's the other member of
Santos Escobar?
Yeah, Santos Escobar. That's Santos Escobar.
Mm-hmm.
He'd get involved, kind of disperse of Baron Corbin. The ref would kind of pay attention to that because there's a bunch of effery happening. Baron Corbin would like get thrown against the barricade, and then Santos Escobar would get in the ring, high knee Apollo Crews, which would lead to Angel Garza doing his finisher, which was the wing clipper.
Mm-hmm.
The wing clipper.
Yeah.
Berto and Angel get the win here. When all these four guys came out, I was like, this is kind of going to be a snooze fest in my mind. Was the complete opposite. All four guys put on a show. This was great. Pop.
Yeah, I'm going to pop it as well. We talk about building up the tag team division, how the tag team division is lacking.
Yeah.
And this was a great way to showcase two tag teams, I thought. Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. I know we see them in backstage segments and stuff, and it's like, well, they're just kind of there. But they showed again they can go in the ring, so that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, they're one match in, and I think Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews are my new favorite tag team. Dude, I want every week to just be a Baron Corbin experiment move. Even if he botches half of them, so what? But like, screw it.
Just try different things.
Just be out there with Apollo Crews and just try all this stuff that you want to try, bro.
Yeah,
all for you.
And as for, I don't know, the rivalry feud, I guess, that they're building, like, I'm not too interested in that. It seems kind of just thrown together, which is, I guess, fine. But if they can put on good matches like this, like,
yeah,
keep doing
hometown boy, Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Until he blows all of his money in Vegas at Mania. All right.
They have to do a callback to it. They have to have
he's
him
got
be
like the entire night. He's got like, they got to just film him in the casino, just like pacing back and forth. And Apollo Crews is like, no, don't do it.
They have to. Just something, you know.
New favorite tag team. Give the titles to him. Anyway, we're back with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, who run into Pretty Deadly.
Mm-hmm.
And she calls them the Twinkle Twins. Because they want to talk to Nick Aldis about producing the Pretty Deadly musical still. We're still on that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, get to the back of the line. No, Nick Aldis just isn't there. It's a through line of the episode, I guess. That's about it. Very interesting segment comes up next. Cody Rhodes is sitting in the locker room, looking sharp as hell. And I mean, that dude's suits, they're always on point.
Top notch.
But it's Cody on, so if you're looking at your screen, Cody's on the right side of the bench, then his title, and then in comes Randy Orton to sit right next to the title. It's a little bit of a future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
mm-hmm.
But I guess Cody Rhodes is scheduled to face off against the Bloodline tonight, like just face to face in the ring. And Orton is like, whether you like it or not, I will always have your back. He said, Owens is at home. That's on me. I told him he needs to be home with his family. Hopefully Owens' mom is getting better. Just real life stuff right there. So, and Randy said, no matter how all this ends, when the Bloodline is over, a lot of men are going to be coming for that belt, and I will have your back then too. I mean, this all confirms that a Randy Orton heel turn's coming. He's coming for that title.
Yeah. It's just right there now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know we talk about it a little bit here and there, but now you just, out in the open.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there. I mean, the belt in the middle. It's like painting art.
Paint by numbers, you know?
Paint by numbers.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that a short pop. I liked it a lot. I liked all of it. Want to pop it?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, if that's what we're doing, yeah, why not?
I liked it. It was good. Good storytelling, right? LA Knight would come out. Yeah. He'd come out with a folder. He's holding a folder. He said, Money in the Bank didn't go my way, but don't get me wrong. I looked in the mirror and I saw that I'm always Money in the Bank. Yeah.
God, it's just something so simple that it's
It
just
really-
like, you know what? This is
It's like,
nice.
yeah, I no longer care that you lost Money in the Bank. That's awesome.
Mhm.
But he goes, I also did this in my Money in the Bank match or qualifying match. And he shows footage of him pinning Logan Paul from a few weeks ago to qualify for the match.
Mhm.
And he goes, I pinned the USA champion. He picked up a folder and he says, in this folder, I have something that's already signed by Nick Aldis. And it's a contract for the US title. I know.
Which
yes.
is, yeah.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
No. You go ahead.
No,
No.
that's a good point.
It's just, I guess he signed it ahead of time because he went and got it and it was delivered and it's like, but he's not here, but it's signed and he picked it up and he got,
I guess I missed it. He came out of his office earlier, but like, yeah. I mean,
LA came out when Chelsea and Pretty Deadly and all them were,
yeah.
were there. Yeah.
But like the rest of the night, he was not seen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought the
guess
same thing. I was like, how'd you get his autograph, bro?
Yeah. I guess he signed it ahead of time. He stopped by,
Yeah.
early hours, signed it and then left, I guess is what we're going with.
Oh, he opens it and he signs it himself and he goes, the only thing that's missing on this here contract is a signature from Logan Paul. And one way or another, I will get that signed. Yeah. That was the whole segment. And you know what? It was LA Knight cooking up in a ring. I'm giving it a pop. I love that dude.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to pop it. Yeah. I mean, he's going to take that belt off Logan and people want that. And
Dude,
him just on a mic is always nice, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
He finds a way to make it interesting. So
there is no possible way I would be okay with Logan Paul walking out there still champion now. Like, that dude he's shown up 1 time, 2 times in the past 2 months. Like, it's time. Get it off. Short Blair Davenport video package where she basically says, if you have hurt feelings about me, then do something about it, which led directly to a Blair Davenport match against Naomi. And these two put on a show. They really did. Naomi would do a bunch with her legs early. That's her thing now, and she's good at it. She'd do the splits leg drop into a chokehold, and then she'd get her up, put her in the corner, kick her, and do another splits leg drop off the second turnbuckle, which was nice. But then she had tape on her shoulder from the Money in the Bank match. She was kind of selling like her shoulder was a little bum, and Blair would eventually go for that. And she would kind of do a bunch of stuff to it. She'd put her in the corner and do like a top rope stomp to her shoulder. She'd throw her out of the ring, throw her against the ring post on her shoulder. More springboard drop kicks to the shoulder. Good stuff here. Middle of the match, though, is pretty back and forth with nobody getting the advantage. They did some seesaw pin attempts where they just kept rolling up each other. Not a huge fan of that, but it worked. But it ended with Naomi just hitting her finisher. And 1, 2, 3, Naomi wins clean with no drama afterward. But we're going to roll this up into the next segment because it does carry through. Naomi would then go to the backstage where Jade and Bianca would be there to celebrate with her. Like, you won. Good stuff. And Naomi's like, yeah, that was pretty good, but I can't wait for you guys to get your tag titles back. And they're like, yeah, that's going to happen. But Nick Aldis isn't freaking here for us to discuss a match. And we're all like, okay. They just go, yeah, we'll see you later, though. Cheers. Blair Davenport walks up to her. Better woman won tonight. Shake my hand. And Naomi's like, you know what? Sure, they shake hands. And Blair seemingly walks right away. And Chelsea Green and Piper Niven then storm out of Nick Aldis' office. And they're like, he's not here tonight. This is some BS. And right as they're saying that, Blair Davenport runs back, starts attacking Naomi again. So that's continuing. This whole thing from top to bottom, they actually did put on a good match. The only thing I didn't like was that there was no drama-filled stuff. Like, they just gave a promo package to Blair Davenport. She wins or she loses completely clean, and that's that. So I was like, what? But then they did this small thing, so it continues the story. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a pop. I like this stuff enough.
I'm going to drop it.
Ooh!
Yeah. This is the second time I've had Blair Davenport on the screen that I can remember in the last few weeks, and I feel like it just...
She wrestled.
She wrestled. She's good in the ring. I like some of the stuff she does, but since there's no, like... They really dropped the ball from when they brought her up from NXT. There was a really long time that it was like, okay, we didn't even hear from her, and now they're trying to start again, which is great that they're trying to start, but I feel like nobody's really invested in it. Invested in her. I
have a personal issue with giving people big old video packages and then just having them lose. Naomi's great. She's over. and she deserves to be winning and stuff like that. So maybe you should have picked somebody else.
Yeah, that was another thought that I had as well. That if like you're gonna have her go in the ring for somebody, have it be I guess somebody else. Like
Yeah,
because Naomi is over and people want to see Naomi win. So well, I guess I don't understand that. And then the whole like Jade Bianca thing, like now Naomi's like she was friends with them on screen a bunch, and then she was with Bailey for a bit, and then now she's just circled back to Jade and Bianca. It's like they don't know what to do with her either.
She's just the top talent's best bud.
Yeah, she just doesn't know what to. I guess she's just all around everybody. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a weird direction.
Yeah, totally agree. We would then get a rematch for the tag team championship. DIY versus A-Town Down Under. And I'm sitting there looking at my watch going, oh, tonight's the night we're getting the Theory turn. He's going face tonight. That's what I was thinking.
I didn't really know what I was thinking, to be honest. I was like, oh, it'll be a good match.
Yeah.
That's,
It was a quick match, but it was great. Like fast paced, literally, apart from the commercial break, no minutes of downtime here. They all squared off right away, and A-Town Down Under entered with like a pissed off attitude. They were like, they were ready to go. They all squared off right away, and DIY would double drop kick them, and Waller and Theory would roll out of the ring, and they would go. Gargano would go for a suicide dive, but A-Town Down Under was like, nah, moved out of the way. He hit the table, and then A-Town Down Under took over the match right away. Outside the ring, Theory would destroy Gargano, and Waller would destroy Ciampa. They'd get back in the ring. A-Town Down Under is here to get the titles back, right? But eventually, momentum shifted. Ciampa would hit high knees to both Waller and Theory, which would lead to a Gargano hot tag, who would do like one of his cool little double DDTs, where he'd have one of the DDT and then like jump over the other guy and DDT both of them. Very good, just good stuff. And then he would spear Theory, which is kind of cool.
I always like that, like catapult.
Yeah,
in between the ropes spear thing.
Yeah,
it's always cool.
Yeah, I like that. But Ciampa would end up going for a pin, and Waller would do the roll up, his roll up move that he does, like a roll up DDT thing. But BS3 happened. So Theory had been getting whooped in the ring. Waller's like, you know what? I'm doing this myself. He after he hits that roll up, he literally drags Theory to the corner, tags himself in, picks Theory up so they can get off some moves. Waller would go for one. Ciampa would move out of the way. Waller would hit Theory. Theory would kind of do this thing where he's wobbling. He's on the edge. Waller would go for another move, and he would high kick Theory again. So he hit Theory twice. Theory rolls out of the ring. Both DIY members in the ring. They take advantage of the moment. They hit the meet me in the middle, and DIY wins it. In terms of the match, let's write the match real quick. Great match. And yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah, a couple of minor slip-ups from Waller. Like he had that outside DDT that he tried to into the apron. And then that move that he always does where he rolls through the ropes and does like a face buster or DDT. It looked like he didn't get all of that one as well. But these four guys can go in the ring. Yeah. They all have really cool moves, great move sets. DIY obviously works together great as a tag team. And Waller and Theory do as well. Theory had a couple nice sell jobs on the Waller stuff.
Yeah.
So as for the match, pop it.
Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin up next, I guess, huh? Anyway, reason I wanted to do match first, stuff after is because surprising stuff happened afterward. So I thought, as I just said earlier, that this was the night of the Theory face turn. He just took 2 shots from Waller. This makes sense. Camera cuts to Theory on the outside of the ring berating Waller, yelling at him. Waller's on the apron like, hurting, just taking it. Then the crowd is kind of not looking at them. I'm like, what's going on? Jacob Fatu runs out to this ring and murders everyone.
Except Waller.
Yeah, Waller takes off. He sees
Waller's smart. He slides out of the way.
It was actually kind of a good little, to continue the Waller Theory stuff. Waller saw him coming, didn't say a word, and just bolted. And Theory got destroyed. So he gets destroyed. Fatu gets in the ring, destroys DIY by himself. Yeah. He has Ciampa, he does a Samoan drop to Gargano, so he kind of rolls to the corner. He goes over to Ciampa, throws him on the ground, does like where he jumps rope to rope to rope.
It's almost like Tiffany Stratton, Christopher Daniels, like the prettiest moonsault ever. Yeah, how he just boom, 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 and he just bam.
But the first one, he falls under the ropes, kind of like Sammy, and does like a short moonsault.
Yeah.
Nails Ciampa with it. then goes over to Theory, drags him out to the center of the ring, does a full-on prettiest moonsault, basically. Rope. This is like a 300-pound man.
Yeah.
I hope people understand this. Nails it. Just nails it.
Yeah.
Bloodline 2.0 comes out. And Jacob 2 is already looking like the strongest man in WWE at this point. But Solo comes out and he does the Worcester, Massachusetts, acknowledge me. Boo. And he goes, those who didn't acknowledge me, Paul Heyman, Jimmy, Roman Reigns, because they're gone. You people don't deserve Roman anyways. You have me now. And if he comes back, he will acknowledge me as his tribal chief. And he goes, now it's Cody Rhodes' turn to acknowledge me. And he goes to call him out. Music hits already. And it's not... Cody must pose, baby. He gets the full entrance.
Yeah, and you can see Solo like talking to himself. He's almost like, I didn't even get to say like Cody Rhodes, because it's like bam, and it's like
the lights to wrestling has more than one royal family. He's out there. Cody's trying to act pissed and ready for the moment, but he's also like, got to do my entrance real quick.
Yeah, still got to get the woe in and everything else.
Got to get the woe in. I put, why did Solo allow that? I mean, what are they gonna do? They're gonna run out there and beat him up. I don't know. But Cody, champion. He walks in the ring by himself. 4v1, grabs the mic. And he goes, Solo, I've heard everything that you've said. And we want the same thing. And I'm sitting there like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what are we talking about here?
And he goes, consider it done. SummerSlam. Undisputed championship. Let's do it. But if it were up to me, we wouldn't wait till then. We'd do it here and now. And he would, I mean, he squared up. He looked like he's ready to fight. 4v1.
Yeah.
What are you doing, champ? What are you doing, champ? Well, they surround him. And Cody's like, screw it. I'm going to get beat up here. Might as well get a couple shots off. He goes after Solo. He gets a couple shots off. But guess what happens? He gets destroyed. Jacob's 2. He steps in and they just collapse on him. They're beating the hell out of Cody. Orton's music hits. He comes out. He kind of, he gets rid of Tamba and Tonga real quick.
Yeah, those aren't the two you're worried about, you know.
He does that on a weekly basis. It's basically like Jinder Mahal's posse nowadays when Orton used to run out and destroy them weekly.
Singing.
Yeah, singing.
Maybe they were both singing.
Singing.
Sanjit Singh and somebody else. I can't remember his name.
Anyway, these guys are supremely outnumbered, so they would both be getting this, the spit kicked out of them. Jacob Fatu would be doing like 80% of the damage, by the way. I mean, they are booking that he is the enforcer of all enforcers, and he looks great doing it. But they would get him to the point where Solo and Fatu would tie Cody's arms up in the ropes, facing the announce table. So Cody's kind of just like, he's tied up, he can't do anything. And he's watching as the rest of Bloodline beats the hell out of Orton, and he's pleading for him. He's like, no, you want me. Leave him. You want me. He's trying to plead for his life. And they get Orton up into the shield bomb. They do the shield bomb through the table with Randy Orton. And then Solo spikes Cody in the ropes while he's still in the ropes. And that leaves Cody hanging with a really cool shot of Solo's face and Cody in the background, just dead hanging there. And they pose. Bloodline is here to stay. 2.0. They're dominating. I thought this entire thing was absolutely great. I'm giving it a pop.
Yeah, best moment of the night.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, by a mile. It was cool originally to go back when Fatu came out and destroyed both tag teams. He just turns and they seamlessly go into the Bloodline stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I really liked that. And then obviously the beatdown, just Fatu looks amazing. I see why WWE was a little bit hesitant, because he is, I feel overshadowing the rest of the Bloodline,
I think it's all part of the story.
I think so. But it's also just Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. It's just well, we could do without you two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just there.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, man, if I took anything away from the closing segment of SmackDown, it's that the Bloodline 2.0 finally feels dangerous and they finally feel relevant, man. Destroying Cody and Randy like that. Fatu is absolutely insane in that ring. Like you just said, the star of the star of the star of it. I mean, he is all their offense, basically, and it's awesome. I'm just so glad we finally hit that point to where I can actually believe in this bloodline and be like, okay, they're doing the Solo is the fraud tribal chief thing, and it works in terms of the situation they've now set up.
Yeah, and I guess when we were getting ready to record this, you asked the question, does that write Randy off TV for a little bit?
Yeah, it might.
Because that's the move that puts everybody out, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we missed an opportunity to get a return, like a Jimmy return last night. But also, if that is the way that they're going about it, like Kevin's obviously not there, Randy's not there, Cody needs something. Maybe that's when everybody comes in to save.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam.
Yeah, they should do the next few weeks should be Cody against the world again, which is a good way to have the guy who feels better as a chaser chasing. Like, yeah, he has a title, we know that, but now the bigger thing is like he's trying to put a final nail in the coffin on this bloodline, and he's back to being completely alone. Like, how in the world is Cody gonna do this? That gets me back with Cody. I mean, I love Cody, but that gives me real backing of him again. Like, I'm interested in him fully again. So
yeah,
it's just really good. I like it.
It's fully again, and the numbers game. Like, ever since Cody's been champ, he hasn't had like a real threat, right?
Yeah,
it's just been like he's head and shoulders above whoever it might be. And now the numbers game is going to catch up, and then I think now we're going to start getting those returns. I don't know if you pepper them in where it's like you get Jimmy one week and then a Jay maybe comes over and then Roman, or if you just do them all at.
Yeah, how do you want the bloodline to return? How does the big return go? Do you, like you just said that you might want them to sprinkle, or should they just come out as bloodline at SummerSlam, like Paul Heyman, Jimmy, Jay, Roman, all back on the same page type deal?
That's probably the way I would do it.
Yeah, me too.
I think that because if you like slowly pepper them in, I guess, or sprinkle them in, it's like, okay, well, they're still outnumbered.
Yeah.
Like, they're still outnumbered. Like, and it just doesn't maybe hit the same.
Yeah.
But if you get maybe the 4-on-1 just beat down at SummerSlam, you take a ref bump because that's kind of happens a lot.
Of course.
And then you get Jimmy coming out, and then you get Jay coming out, and then Paul comes out. Like, just that seems like it's really going to hit.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is going to hit like, ooh, in the vein. Yeah, in the vein. Anyway, ended up being a decent episode of SmackDown. Some lulls in there, but Bloodline story is great. Got some surprising stuff from Corbin and others. So overall, this is another pop for us. We thought it might be a drop, but it's a pop.
Yeah. I think you're a little bit higher on the episode than I am. But that's neither here or there. I mean, it was one of those episodes that, like, okay, it's new stuff, it's interesting stuff. I'm going to try to give it a chance, but I was also just like, where's the star power?
Yeah. I agree. Anyway, let us know how you felt about this week's episode of SmackDown in the comments, whether you liked it or not. And follow us on all of our socials at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts at Spotify, Apple, etc. And share us with whoever you think might like this type of content. Till then, I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. We will see you next time.